So, hello everybody, and all new friends from around the world in these tumultuous and trying times. Hello Dwayne and Ava, and I will begin by passing the mic over to Pearce.
Hello Kevin, hi everybody. Like I said to Kevin earlier in the week, earlier today, I've not really had any, I did have one, but it was just like, I was like a bird flying in the cloud, and that was one, but I've been getting like, all week really, it's just fragmented experiences of just being with like, when upon waking, like certain people from the past, who were like, I might not even been friends with him, might have just been an acquaintance or I've known him at work or something, but like, I've got a definite knowing that when I wake up, I've been with this particular person, but I don't know, I don't know what was conveyed to him, or if, it's kind of confused. It's a bit mind-boggling because I've got no real recall of the experience, just of people, so I'm thinking like, I'm out there like waking them up, sharing them the news, giving them the knowledge or what. I mean, I was talking to Kevin earlier, he said it might be like attachments from past lives and that. I don't really know because like the experiences aren't really coming together. It's just they're really fragmented. But it's been like one a night all week. But like I say, I had one where I was just like I was a bird and I was just like flying. That was awesome. It was gear. I had quite a few of them. I was like, where he's just like take the view of the bird, and like I flew into these clouds. I come out the other side of the cloud, and like this golden box opened up, like I was leaving the cloud, but the box it wasn't really a box. It was more of like a big oblong shape, this big golden oblong that I just flew into it, and that was the end of that view, that experience. But as for the other ones, I've just been waking up, scratching my head, and then like I was like, I was with him last night. I was with them, or I was with her, but I've got no recall of what happened. So that's what I've got to share this week. I'm afraid it's not much to go on, but that's all I've got. If you want to check it from me, Kevin, it's on to you, mate, or Peter. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Pearce, the whole idea here is, yes, we have the real side experiences, of course, their verification, but at the same time, we're on Earth to be grounded here, to just really see what's taking place right now. Because of what's taking place in the world and with the real guides, we're kind of like a rescue unit to help people become more aware. So as we go through our experiences, and we're always the decider every moment. We're the decider. So no matter what the experience is, we decide. We decide what to do. And so again, this is the focus of the projects that we're doing, etc. And anybody can create their own along the lines of the natural environment if they want to step up with us or create their own situation or whatever. And so again, yes, we do have experiences, but the idea is that we're not chasing experiences either. So things happen. There's always something happening moment by moment, especially in creation. And at the same time, recognizing what life is, very simple, like the sun shining, that recognition, because we're each this free being of real light. And so, yes, we're on the Skypes here to share, but at the same time, taking a look at what's going on in the world right now and our relationship to it. And we do have these relationships, and from the past, the present, and even ones that will appear in the future, but we are always the decider. And so what is the overall focus of things? And that is that we're here to have this experience, to have the recognition, and at the same time, yes, we're kind of like a rescue unit, a rescue group to help others. Because as we, assist others in becoming more aware, we become more aware. This is how it all works. So there's the consideration overall. So the experiences, They add to it. They become a verification for us, and especially listening to others. I really like to hear them. But realistically, we're here to figure out what's more real than anything else and provide something. In other words, we're waking up. We provide something just as a child is raised, and eventually they become part of the world, and they do their part, hopefully to contribute something that's a benefit. So yes, thank you for sharing. Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay then, and I shall now pass the mic over to Peter.
Hello everyone, sorry about last time. I'd had absolutely nothing to report after a fortnight, but this last fortnight has sort of made up for it because I've had no inner dreams. I've picked out what I think are perhaps the more interesting, so which will probably tell you how boring the other ones were. But anyway, the first dream I want to relate concerned me yet again driving, but this time along a rough track somewhere in, I think it must have been India as it turned out, bordered by tall plants and trees, etc. on both sides, and eventually come into a fork in the road. Looking straight on the wider arm of the fork, basically the main road part, I could see at the bottom of a hill a raging river with huge waves cutting across. It was real sort of Flying Dutchman stuff. And now looking to the right, the sort of narrower fork, which seemed to go down steeper. And at first it looked fairly dry, but then I could see water coming through from the other road, which is higher up, pouring down and making it also into a bit of a deluge at the bottom. And all this time I was aware in the car that there were other people with me, and I don't know who exactly they were, but I felt they were family. Anyway, well, not exactly the scene changed, but suddenly I found myself out of the car, and actually with Kevin. I found myself with Kevin. We were on some sort of embankment, at the same place near the fork in the road. But looking back the way we'd just come, and I was sort of deliberating on which way we should go of the three possibilities: the fork forwards or go back again. But then, looking back, I suddenly noticed a large brownish-coloured shape laying in the road on the other side, and I soon realised that although it wasn't stripy, it was a sleeping tiger. As we were deciding which way to go, the dream then ended. Thinking about this afterwards, first of all on my own, I thought this sort of showed some vacillation on my part and not being sure whether to carry on down one fork or the other or go back. Perhaps that sort of symbolised my situation in life. But talking to Kevin about it, he felt that the waves in particular symbolised the new wave is, and we should certainly go forward and not back into old ways, which would be both pointless and, as it indicated by the tiger, somewhat dangerous. Perhaps Dwayne could enlighten us a bit more on this, if you would, please.
Well, sometimes tigers are nice, but again, you decide if you want a tiger in your tank or a tiger in your life. But yes, it's in the real side many times, as you're making decisions, life sees this and it lays things out to where, it's showing you what else is possible. And it's a big step to do this. This is huge. I mean, it's ongoing. There's no end to it. There's no really completion of it at all. And so, many times we go so far. I've seen people come and go, and they go back. They go back to their routines, their personal routines. And because through this process of learning and getting a better understanding of what's going on with creation and the whole of life, they're still holding on to their personal life. In other words, it doesn't mean you give it up. It doesn't mean you go to an ashram and you become celibate and you just sit around and hum all day long in a robe. No, that's not the idea. That's the old idea. The idea is that you still do your life. You raise the children, you watch TV, whatever. But you decide your intent and consideration with the whole of life as you, bit by bit, little by little, you continue on. And so, and I know that with our personal self, we kind of expect things a lot faster, almost like a miracle type thing. But look at how a tree grows. And I know it takes a while to get the personal self around to understand this. But in the meantime, again, you're making choices every moment. And even if you take the left or right hand road and go down and things get funny, you can always redecide. You see, you can always redecide and get back up. That's all. Just like a fighter, just like those Rocky movies where he got knocked down all the time and he got back up and he kept going and made 50 movies or whatever, Rocky 50. So again, this is us, and there is no end to it. And so you're provided these choices, and you can kind of learn, like I've said many times, you learn to look at your personal life. And it's not that, it's not really so much about like or dislike. It's easier to kind of see it when you compare. You compare the two, and then you're the decider. Do you want to be more self-sufficient, more aware, or do you want to just be restricted by routines? Now, I have routines in my personal self, too, that are restricting. I see that. That's part of it, too. And so little by little, I move along in my own way with these things, but overall, it's the awareness, it's my intent. I see that. And while I'm here as a person, I'm very set on helping the world, especially the earth as a start. And there's more to it. There's a bigger picture. So I'm very set on that. So because I see that it's important. I see that people are important. And while I'm here to give them this opportunity, because if I don't do it or someone else does it, it don't happen. It's just that real. And so just like what Paul created with Ekankar, if I wasn't here doing this, well, many people would think that, oh, that's it. That's the spiritual path. That's where it's going. And the guides are there, of course, for people to give them little nudges and whatever, etc. But the bigger picture is we need to learn to do this ourselves. We need to decide ourselves. And yes, the guidance is there. So yes, Peter, you know your life best. You or Peter, you decide. And so it is simply showing you, which is really cool. Life is taking the time, you might say, but this is what life does, because it wants to see you okay, because as you become aware of it and it recognizes that you are, well, then you're supporting it, and you're supporting something that's real, and it's all about survival with no restrictions. In creation, yes, we do these things. Life sees that. That's all okay. It's all okay. Whatever you do, whatever you decide, it's all okay. But the best part is that for you and the reality life is that we all support each other realistically. So yes, along the way, we have all these experiences and we make these choices. And for lifetimes, we kept choosing to stay here because we were chasing something or we had our emotional attachments. And you have a right to those. You can have whatever you want. Everybody can. So life is just providing options. You decide, but it's about your intent. What is it that you really want? Why did you come here? Did you come here to get a job? Did you come here to just do the same old routines you did before? Is that why you came here? Is that why you keep coming here? Sometimes we have to ask ourselves the question, and sometimes we have to scare ourselves to get what we want. If we want to jump out of a plane with a parachute, and we're reluctant to do it, but then sometimes we got to scare ourselves to do it. It's a choice. It's all a choice that we make. So, thank you for sharing.
All right, thanks for that.